Here's your WNEM TV5 news update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Meg McLeod. Michigan hits a new coronavirus milestone as we've surpassed more than 1 million cases. This as the state reports more than 6,000 new cases and 81 deaths since Monday. That brings the state's overall totals to more than 1 million cases, and the death toll reaches 20,781. A former state representative and Flint City Councilman has died. The city of Flint says Jack Miner was an advocate for the city and a champion for all. Mayor Sheldon Neely has ordered the city's flag to half-staff for the rest of the week. A student is in custody following a lockdown at Grand Blanc High School. Grand Blanc police says a student saw another student flash a handgun while driving, but not on school property. In an email to parents, the school says they were able to identify and track down the person of interest who police took into custody for questioning. Police say they did find a BB gun pistol in the student's car in the parking lot. And we're working to learn more about what led to this crash at Court and Dort in Flint involving the Trump Unity Bridge float. It appears the repurposed ambulance pulling it crashed into a telephone pole. Flint police have not said if anyone was hurt or what led to this crash, but stay with TV5 for updates. And the tall ship celebration in Bay City slated for next summer has been postponed. The next one won't happen until 2025. The executive director says they need more time to prepare, and they were concerned about uncertainties surrounding the pandemic. And now here's Brian with a look at our forecast.
Well, thanks very much, Meg. Of course, for many of us, it has been a very soggy day, to say the very least, here across mid-Michigan. Although folks farther to the northwest of Saginaw Bay may be saying, what rain? Well, here's the bottom line. Everybody's got one more round of steadier, heavier rain coming our way later tonight before then we taper off to showers gradually, but keep the chilly and windy conditions around tomorrow. Here it is on the sky tracker tonight. A growing area of low pressure sitting over Ohio tonight, set to start backing in toward the northwest across the state as we head into the overnight period here. We're going to get a little lull in the rainy activity for those who have been seeing it for most of the day for a good chunk of the early evening hours. But eventually this larger shield of rain that we see over Indiana is going to pivot in later on tonight with the low and likely make for some, well, pretty drenching rains on top of what has already fallen and a pretty good mess of the morning commute tomorrow. So here it is, timed out, hour by hour forecast going into the 7 o'clock to 9 p.m. time frame. There's your break in the action. Doesn't mean the rain is going to stop completely necessarily, but it'll at least taper off to lighter drizzle kind of rain for at least a little bit anyway. Then heading in toward midnight, all bets are pretty much off. Heavier rain starts to roll back in along I-69 right into the Flint metro area, and a good chunk of the thumb continues to back in toward the Tri-Cities, Chesaning, Owasso, Mount Pleasant, and Alma by the time we hit 3 a.m. Fortunately, for the morning commute tomorrow, as we're hitting the road around, say, 7 a.m., while there will still be some pockets of lingering heavy rain around the Tri-Cities and possibly Flint, it does look like a lot of the heavier stuff starts to press to the west. Now, unfortunately, that's not great news for those of you along US 127, anywhere from Clare or Mount Pleasant to Alma, because that's going to put you more in the crosshairs of the heavy rain. But it does tend to taper off pretty quickly thereafter. As you can see, we don't lose the rain entirely with just scattered showers lingering into the midday period tomorrow, but you see here as the low kind of sits and swirls overhead, it's at least not steady heavy rain. It's more intermittent nuisance type rains, but enough to lead to a very raw, chilly day with the rainy conditions continuing before then finally the low begins to depart early Friday and we get a nice sunny end to the work week. Now, as far as additional rainfall is concerned, 1 to 2 inches expected on top of what has already fallen for everyone across the thumb, I-69 corridor, and right up to about the Tri-Cities and Chesaning. Areas farther northwest looking about up to ½ inch of rainfall. Could we go a little bit higher than that if some of the heavier rain bands hold together? Certainly, but I think with the more intermittent nature of the rain, you're still going to come in on the lower end of the spectrum here and dodge the worst of it. Before tonight, low temp around 48 degrees to go along with the windy conditions and the periods of rain. It's just going to be plain chilly out there tonight. Then in your first Warn 5 7-day forecast, showers and breezy for tomorrow and staying chilly with highs in the mid-50s. But Friday makes up for it. Storms gone. We're back to sunny skies and a high temp around 70. Some evening showers into early Saturday morning. Then a dry weekend with temps in the 60s and some 70s with also much drier conditions as we look ahead to next week.
Remember to tune into WNEM TV5 on air and online 24/7 for the latest news, weather, and information.